Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and we're going to be talking about one of the most recent NBA trade rumors as the trade deadline gets closer and closer. Today's Tuesday, so a couple days away from it exactly being 1 week away until the NBA trade deadline. I can't believe tomorrow's February. I know this is out of context, but I just can't believe we're already at the end of January, right? I mean, who agrees with me? But as we get into this trade deadline and as we get hours closer upon February and even closer to that February 9th NBA trade deadline, there was definitely, I can't make videos about everything that gets reported, but I like to make at least, 2 NBA trade deadline videos a day of the probably 6 to 10 stuff that are being reported. But one of the things I did choose to make, which I think this is a really interesting topic, is Matisse Thybulle potentially being traded to the Kings. Now, it was reported by Bleacher Report that why was I thinking about Minnesota? That's weird. That the Sacramento Kings are keeping a lookout on forward for the Philadelphia 76ers, Matisse Thybulle. And I think this would be a very interesting trade for the Kings. And here's why. Personally, I like the Kings. I think they have a great team. I think that they're definitely going to make the playoffs for the first time in how many years? 25 years or whatever it is. So that's good. But the question is what you do when you get there. And I think you have to make some moves in the trade deadline. Nothing huge. I just think some small moves would be good for them. Maybe a couple moves in the buyout market. Who knows? But I just think the Kings, they're a team who I just don't know if they'd be able to win a playoff series right now. I think it just depends on who they're playing. And who knows who they're playing. Right now, the Kings are the 3 seed. And if the playoffs ended today, they'd play Dallas in the first round. And even though you have the momentum with starting off, the first 2 games at home, you're just not going to be able to deal with Luka Doncic. And I like their team. I like Fox. He's amazing. Sabonis has had such an underrated year. Keegan Murray's been a great rookie for them. So many other players doing great. Surprisingly, someone who hasn't been that great is Davion Mitchell. He's done decent off the bench. Harrison Barnes has been good. Kevin Huerter's been phenomenal this season. So many role players and so many good players have been good for this Kings team this year. But just the question is how you're going to look when you get to the playoffs. So a trade or 2, small trades, would be great for the Kings. And I think that Matisse Thybulle would help a lot. I mean, he brings some nice score, a little bit of a scoring off the bench, good defensive player. Mainly his defense, I think, would bring him in. I mean, he'd be someone who would be able to guard Luka Doncic a little bit in the first round if you were to potentially match up against the Mavs in the first round. I think it's a little too early to think about that. But, I think that Matisse Thybulle fits well on that Kings roster. Now, let's go over what a trade would look like. So, I have 3 players involved, 2 going to Sacramento, 1 going to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia also acquiring a pick in return. So here's the trade. The Kings obviously receive Matisse Thybulle, and then the Kings also receive shooter. I can never pronounce his last name, but I just like to call him Korkmaz. So they get Korkmaz, who's a good shooter, has not been able to crack into that 76ers rotation this year. He's been playing good before in these recent couple of years, but now the 76ers have added some depth to their roster, and he's just struggled this season. I mean, not even he struggled, he just can't, buy to get on the floor. So you get Korkmaz, you get Matisse Thybulle. Now, here is what the Sixers get in return, which I love this for the Sixers. They get Richaun Holmes. You think about how, popular he was and how great a basketball player he was a couple years ago for the Kings. And, they trade for Sabonis. And Holmes' role, he moved to the backup center, and he was doing decent at that until this season. Metu, he started balling, And so now his minutes have disappeared. And I know it's weird, trading Thybulle and Korkmaz for a player who has not been playing for the Kings. But here's the reality. When Rashawn Holmes is, playing, full minutes, I think this guy's a beast. And I think he'd be a great backup center alongside Joel Embiid. The question is, what's going on with Montrezl Harrell? He's been the backup center this year. I don't know what happens with him, but as you know, Rashawn Holmes would be phenomenal on the 76ers. I love, if Harden's in with him, Harden can throw him some nice lobs. And he's just a good player. He's a good defensive player. And I think Rashawn Holmes would, fit well in this 76ers team. And it doesn't make him any more dangerous, but he'd be a great piece for the 76ers team. Now, I also have the 76ers acquiring a 2023 second-round pick that is Orlando's pick in this trade. So I do think that would be all right for Philly. I mean, I just think that Holmes' trade value is probably a little bit down right now because he has not been playing. Thybulle's been in the Sixers rotation. Korkmaz has not, but he's been good when he has played for the Sixers. So they're getting two good players who, Korkmaz, I don't know if he'll be in the rotation for the Kings if this trade happens, but Thybulle definitely will, and he'll be a big part of the Kings team. Now, I just like it. I like it for Thybulle on the Kings. I like it for Holmes on the Sixers. I just don't know if it happens, but I just know that would be the trade that would go down most likely be the trade that would go down if this trade would happen. You guys let me know your thoughts on the potential trade. And that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think both teams benefit on this deal. No winners, no losers. I think both teams win in this trade. But you guys let me know your thoughts, and I wouldn't mind this trade. You guys let me know your thoughts, and peace out.